to the republic for which it stands, one indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thanks everybody for coming. Did everybody get to sign the sheet? Sign the sheet? Anybody wants to speak? Okay.
Can you reach over and grab me an agenda? Or Jane, when you come by, can you grab me an agenda, please? Leave everybody but myself.
Treasurer's report.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Shane Bailey.
Present.
Shane Zoni.
Here.
Aaron Howell.
Here.
Don Miller.
Here.
Teresa Stratton.
Here.
Randy Thorpe.
Here.
Jane Varco. Here. Mayor Chip Norella.
Here.
Attorney Chris Farrow.
Here.
Michelle Dudlowski. Here. Heather Hess. Roll has been called.
Thank you, Heather. Has everyone been able to breeze over the minutes of last meeting?
Other than me giving Jane the plague. Apparently.
Yes. Nobody else noticed it? She gave me the plate.
It's in my correspondence.
Oh.
Jane read the ambulance report and showed a PSAB plague.
Oh.
That's spell check for you. This is why our children need to. Spell check doesn't catch everything.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll second it.
Randy made a motion. Teresa seconded the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Abstentions? Motion passes. Let's see, the bill list.
No additions.
No additions.
Oh,
That's a good thing.
I have a question though. I under the fire hydrants, do we get anything stating that any of them are out of service? Because we're paying for them, correct?
Yes.
Okay, there is one, I saw a bag,
Right on South Street.
South Street. So there is one out of service.
Yeah, Chris ran over it with his truck. Chris
Who?
Ocadrilli that lives in
Oh.
there. When he pulled in his driveway, he accidentally ran over it.
I believe I've backed into that before too.
Okay, but regardless, it's out of service and we shouldn't have to pay for it,
Is
correct?
it recorded? I would assume so because there's a bag over it, but I don't know if
They gave him a bag and he hasn't seen him since then.
Yeah.
We have a fire department here. Have you heard anything?
I know it's out of service. That's
Okay.
Is that the only one?
That's, I believe so.
Okay,
I can call him.
I'll make a
okay.
motion to pay the bills.
I'll second the motion.
Randy made a motion. Jane seconded it. All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Abstentions? Motion passes to pay the bills. Okay. Have a good evening.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
Thank
Shelley.
you.
Thank you, Shelley.
Be safe.
Police report. Chief?
Hey, good evening. How are you guys?
Wonderful. Yourself?
Yeah, I can't complain, I guess, right? Let's see, Waymart Police Report for February 25. Disabled vehicles, we have 2. Assisted other police agencies, we have 2. And suspicious persons, 2. And investigations, we have 4 ongoing, and there was 19 incidents, calls we have for the month.
Any questions for the chief?
There was $327.63 collected.
Thank you, Mayor.
Well,
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions? Fire company.
Hey guys, my name is Matt Swenson. I'm the safety officer of the Waymart Fire Company. This month we had 21 calls for February. Just want to let you guys know that this Saturday we're going to have a private service for Rick Utag. He was a member of our fire company, passed away. At 10 o'clock we're going to be hitting the siren. And we're going to be marching up to the Waymart Church. Belmont Street is going to be shut down just for a short period of time while we march across. If anybody would like to pay their final respects, you just ask you to line the route. Our tanker is in service. We got a tanker and it's in service now. And this year is our 100th years with Waymart. And June 13th and 14th, we're going to be having a picnic in the Grove. And the 14th will be the parade. That's all I got.
Great, wonderful, thank you.
Thank you.
And that's fine, a real flag day.
And that's real flag day, yeah.
If I could just add a little bit to that. I was working on the FEMA grant for the fire company, and unfortunately, we didn't meet the $3,900 minimum.
Oh,
So
I was afraid of.
I
had one
got an
question for
email
the-
today.
For the fire department?
Yeah, please.
By any chance, did you get a hold of Kevin for the pipes? For the bag? For the funeral?
Yes, we have, I'm not sure the guy's name, but we did find someone.
Okay.
I think
We
Mike
got someone
Farley
to
in
you.
town
What?
plays the bagpipes. Mike Farley in town plays the bagpipes. He could help you probably.
Okay. Thank you.
Mayor's report.
I have nothing to report.
Okay. Zoning officers report.
Kind of a busy month. I had 3 meetings with serious zoning issues. One separate one was for Wayne Housing. I met with them. We're going to talk more about that later on. I met with Chris 3 times regarding appeals and just also the hearing that we're going to talk about later. Met with the zoning board twice, and I dealt with one complaint that I'm worried about. That's it. That was pretty much it. A lot of meetings and a lot of stuff like that. So that's pretty much all I have. There was a zoning hearing that got withdrawn. So that's where we're at.
Okay.
There's nothing pending except the conditional use for the housing. We'll discuss that.
And the one that was withdrawn, did they refile it?
No.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Any questions for Joe? Solicitors report.
After last month's meeting, I let the attorney for the solar renewable energy, I let him know that it was approved with conditions. And then I got a phone call from him about a week after the meeting. After the conditions were read and approved, I received a call from the attorney for Solar Renewable Energy LLC asking for a few modifications of the conditions that were passed. I informed him that I went over those conditions one by one with him, line by line, prior to our last meeting. I told him that there would be no further modifications. Those conditions would stand as approved and passed by council, and he was free to appeal them if he didn't like them. So I got the impression this guy just keeps pushing. Anything he's gonna get, he keeps pushing for more. So I just told him he's not getting anything more, and if he doesn't like it, appeal it. I went through every line of those conditions with him prior to the meeting, and he approved each one. We modified some of them at his request prior to the meeting. That's all I have to report.
Okay.
I have a question for Chris, though. Debbie Barco called me, and she wanted to know about a secretary for the planning commission. Do they have to have a completely separate secretary, or is that something that the borough secretary can do?
Well, one of them could act as secretary. What is she looking
Okay.
for?
She just was looking for a name. She thought maybe a name was forgotten.
Tell her to call John Vitosky.
No. Don't call me. Don't even volunteer me for it.
Okay, so
Lord.
they don't technically have to have a secretary. It's
No.
something they can do on their own.
No, yeah.
Okay.
That's just neighbors helping neighbors.
Okay. So any clerical questions, they
Pick up dog
can,
shit.
she can call one of those for any questions then. Okay. I will call her back and let her know that. Thank you.
Just tell her who's on it and she can reach out.
Okay.
Yeah, and I spoke to her too, and I told her the same thing,
Yeah.
that
Okay.
they did not have one and one wasn't appointed, so.
Okay.
Okay.
Co-presidents.
Correspondence.
All right, so I have the ambulance report for the month of February, 60 dispatches, 44 responses, 19 calls were in Waymart Borough, with 2 going to mutual aid. The 50th Anniversary Luncheon, March 27th, celebrating 50 years of service of the Salvation Army Ladore Lodge. It's an invitation. We've missed the RSVP, but I'm sure if somebody wanted to attend, they could probably call and ask. I have that information if you want. Saturday, April 12th, 2025. Come join us at USP Canaan for an all ages appropriate Easter egg hunt. Correctional support team would like to invite you to a fun-filled family and community event. Photos with the Easter Bunny, face painting, age-appropriate egg hunt. First hunt starts at 11. Craft and coloring, flower painting, and more. All are welcome. Where April 12th, when April 12th, where Eric J. Williams Memorial Training Center, right by the federal prison. Pocono Mountains. Pick up the Poconos. Returns for spring 2025. It's a volunteer registration for a region-wide litter cleanup. So April 26th, there's information here if you want to sign up a group, if you want to individually, and it's region-wide. Long-term executive Mary Beth Wood decided it's time to enjoy retirement. Justin Taylor is introducing himself as the new executive director at WEDCO. Having served as the Susquehanna County Director of Economic Development for 3 years, followed by 20 years of service as the Mayor City Administrator in Carbondale. I can attest that Wayne County has it together. It's refreshing to see people working together like no place I've ever been. So he would like to introduce himself, and there are several dates. The WEDCO annual meeting dinner at the Bryn Mawr Conference Center is May 8th. There are several other events, August 15th, November 21st. And the information is here. If anybody would like more or to attend. This is a letter from Adams Cable. Dear, we understand that price increases are never welcome, and we want to be transparent about upcoming changes to our video service rates. Like many other cable providers, we are facing raising costs from TV networks and local broadcast stations. To continue providing our customers with the service they expect, we need to adjust our video rates, starting with our April bill. Following changes will begin. Basic TV will increase $6. Expanded Basic will increase $12. The Choice Package will increase $12, and HBO will increase $2. While we make these adjustments, we're also investing in the future of our service. In 2025, we'll continue upgrading our infrastructure by replacing existing lines with fiber optic cable. This means even faster internet speeds for our customers as we complete these upgrades throughout the communities we serve.
Question, didn't they just get bought out by Blue Ridge?
Yes, and it's sometime in 2025 when it will be totally merged with Blue Ridge, so. All right, Attention Planning Commission and Council. I received the conditional use appeal for the hearing for the Wayne County Housing Project. Planning Commission, can you please have a meeting and look over the documents and maps, as well as the Borough Council? A copy of these documents was given to Borough Council Solicitor Chris Farrell, as well as the writing of this request. I do believe action on this application can be taken up under new business.
What's the date of the application?
February 28th is the date of this letter. What's the date of the application?
I think it was the same day.
Same day? Okay. And everybody did receive emails and notification of this. Joe and Chris, I think, sent something out. And that's here for anybody to look at.
Thank you, Heather.
Oh.
Guests and citizens. Is there anybody on the check-in sheet next to Randy?
No.
No? Okay. Committee reports. Jane.
I just have to report on the grants that we received so far. if you've driven down the old railroad bed, you will see that that Pioneer has started, and that's why there's 100 little signs and on around there, because they spent a couple days just taking and surveying everything so that everything will be exactly as planned on that. And of course, Joe Gilat is our engineer, and he's overseeing the whole program. Material shed, we're almost to the end on there, and so I will be applying for the contract to be completed. The life packs, I called Cottage Hose yesterday and gave them the go-ahead to purchase the life packs, and because I did receive the contract for that grant, and I went it all over carefully, and we meet all the specifications of it, so they are, as soon as they get the life packs, they're going to show them here at the meeting, but they're as soon as they get that, then we can apply for the monies to pay for them. The overhead doors, I talked to the man that's in charge of that, and he said that he can proceed with that, but he has applied for the contract from them, and he still does not have it. So, and it has to be signed by a lot of people at the government level in Harrisburg. And so what we're going to do is proceed with that. Hopefully by next month, at least 3 of these grants will be finished. Now, Wayside Park, I talked to Jason, and we would like to recommend that at the May meeting, we have a resolution to go for the next grant under DCED, under the Greenways program, and to supplement. In the meantime, it was brought up, and it was a valid point, that since next year is the 175th anniversary of Waymart, the $90,000 that we already have, we're going to spend it on the park and upgrade some things and meet some of the specifications, especially for handicapped, that are required, and apply at the same time for another grant, and also I'll have to apply to some local organizations to supplement them, and so that we can fulfill the park's destiny by having it service all ages. So that's it on the 5 grants.
Thank you, Jane. Any questions for Jane? Budget and finance, Teresa.
Nothing.
Streets and roads, Shane. I really don't have anything right now. Not worth talking about anyway. Park and Rec.
I did not get to meet with Michelle for our Easter celebration yet. Now that we know that the 12th that USP Canaan is doing something, maybe that'll change. But I would just say look on our Facebook page, our Waymart Facebook page, if there's anything decided before our April 8th meeting. It's kind of where we're at. So.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Utilities, Don.
Nothing on the
They're
utilities.
busy chasing streetlights.
Bible.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
That one on Route 6 and that one now up by the housing, that one's out
Oh boy.
again.
I got that one.
And those
There's
2
three.
others.
There's 3
All the
on.
time.
There's 3 on South Street.
Yeah,
Yeah.
South Street, we're gonna be soon in the dark.
Let's put my spotlight out.
I do have a lot of people asking about a cleanup day.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. What did we do the last one?
2 years ago.
2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah. Okay.
Question is, do we have the money to do it?
Right. Yeah. I don't remember what it cost.
I think it was like, it cost us 1,500, wasn't
I don't
it?
remember.
15, 17.
I don't remember.
We used the green dumpsters up here. Yeah. They were the
I
best.
think it was like 30-some
Of
$100.
course, Chastity has them now. Chastity or Babcock.
Okay. Get some prices. Hmm?
Yeah, because a couple people have.
I mean, even at the increase, I think it was what, $20 a carload. Even if you go to 30, people will still pay it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it costs about $70 or $80 a pickup truck full to go over to waste management. So,
Mm-hmm.
even at $30, it's still
$30 for a truckload. Mm-hmm.
Well, the trucks were more, weren't they, last time? Wasn't it 20 and 30?
Maybe, yeah, it
So do 30 and
sounds like that.
Maybe do a car 30 and a truck 50.
Well, I mean, who's bringing anything over in a car?
You never know.
Wasn't it,
There were a lot of cars.
wasn't it pickup trucks and trailers,
I
wasn't
was
that
gonna
it?
say, we had a trailer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You'd be surprised what you can put in a car.
And what is it? Is it all stuff? Lawn
Every-
stuff?
No electronics.
No
No,
electronics?
anything but electronics, and tires, there was a trunk.
Okay.
If anybody asks about electronics, Best Buy does do it. I think it's $30, but you get, it seems like you get a gift card back.
Speaking of electronics, where did the big copier go?
Don't know.
In the mayor's office. He just did it to please us today.
Stash it back there?
So is that something we wanna
But that's bad,
investigate?
out of sight, out of mind.
That's right.
Yeah.
Good job, we gotta get
some
rid of it.
Prices on dumpsters and,
Yeah.
okay.
And, I told him if there's money there,
Okay,
can't promise.
right, yeah, okay. All right, we'll report back next month. Safety Darren. Purchasing and building Randy. Unfinished business. Light poles.
With the light poles, I've tried to sell them, I tried to sell the lights.
I have a question about the light poles, and I know I brought it up last month, but I'm just asking a question if it can be done. I know you said that there was lights picked for the park, and it's through the grant.
Yes.
Couldn't we do and I have a hard time pronouncing the word, couldn't we do an addenda? Addendum to use the light poles instead of buying new ones? They're there. It's a lot of money sitting there.
I understand, but you cannot change one word on the contract when you,
So what about the idea for the field is there's going to be a net around the outside? Can't we just use those for the net because there's no power to a net?
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah, use the poles to hook the net to.
Mhm. Are the lights in phase 1 of the park project? Or will they be in phase 2?
I believe
They were addressed in one, but phase 2 was the final product.
Mhm.
The problem with these lights is they're stadium lights.
Mhm.
Well, you don't want stadium lights in a park.
Well, you can see the kids a little better.
Well, no, they're just unacceptable.
What do you mean down at this park?
Yes,
Mhm.
they aren't the kind of lights that you put in a park.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure the brand or what they're.
Well, I did run off copies. If anyone wants a copy after the meeting, I ran off copies of all the bills, so you can.
Do you have one for the poles and the lights?
Yes, I
know
do.
you gave me one, I gave it away, but.
Okay,
you have
I
one.
did run off some more today. I do have the plugs, the poles. The poles came
Did
to
you put it on Marketplace?
$16,692.92. The lighting,
Couple of us do.
the lighting is $16,619.92.
Will this company take these back?
They won't take the poles.
No.
They won't take anything back. They wouldn't even pay they said they wouldn't even deliver on here. It says that they deliver, but they won't even take them off the truck. I don't know how you got them off the truck, but.
So,
Give us
okay.
copies of that, because we can put it on Marketplace.
Yeah, and somebody, like I said, I've been trying to get the Camp Freedom, if they would do it. And I'm going to send it out to contractors like Mike Cabbage and that, but I've been very sick for a couple of weeks. To Mike Cabbage and them and ask them if anything that they're doing, if they could use either one of these products.
So could we apply one to the field then? Because I Googled this and this was the answer that I got. I asked what
Telephone
poles,
are not accepted
what,
in the park.
but they're light poles. No, for up to the
Yeah.
baseball field.
They're not
I got
accepted.
Little League fields in Pennsylvania can use any type of light poles as long as they use LED lights that direct light downward. LED lights are more energy efficient and can help reduce costs. Explanation. Little League fields require fewer lighting poles and fixtures than other fields because they are smaller. LED lights are more energy efficient. LED lights can also eliminate glare, but it even highlighted it. Little League fields in Pennsylvania can use any type of light pole. Can we apply an addendum to that to use the light poles?
No.
I'm just trying to
Because Joe
save
sat
us
right
money.
here and read from the specifications, he had them right there, and it said positively that you cannot use wooden poles.
Because that's what came up when I Googled
I
it.
don't care. It's
And
Joe
you
I
Gillard.
remember when
if
Joe
you-
was
Joe Gillard
here.
is our
Yeah.
engineer.
Yeah, he had specifics.
And he read it specifically.
I'm just
sitting right
looking
there.
for a solution to use the poles so that we're not having
on
that much money
32,000
sitting there.
Mhm.
Let's,
Well, let's see if we can get him on Facebook and.
I think we
Wasn't
might
Joe's
set up a
opinion
whole
based
structure
on the
first.
requirements?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have everything here.
Yep,
Mhm.
I don't care.
So we'll try that out. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of things sound like.
I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, we can do that.
Well, I would also ask Joe if we can use them for the netting too.
Oh, that too,
How
yeah.
many do
Yeah.
you need for the netting?
I don't know.
Yeah, so maybe hold off. Maybe just try the lights. You wanna just try the lights first? To sell the lights first?
Mhm.
I mean, hey, everything's for sale all the time, right?
Mhm.
If somebody wants to buy them, sell
The
them.
poles and the lights.
But if we
Okay.
can use them for the nets,
All
Okay.
right, we'll get, we'll make some copies of that. Hand them out. That it for unfinished business?
I see the
Yeah.
gentleman from the Salvation Army.
Oh, hi, Mark.
He was late. Did you want to say something?
Well, you had sent me stuff about these lights
Yes.
a month or so ago. I didn't realize there's poles. We might be able to use those poles.
That would be
If the
wonderful.
price was right, maybe. I'm just saying there's
Right.
an outside chance. But if you can use them for the net, have at it. But I thought you just had lights, and the lights weren't anything.
No, we have both here. I'll give you a copy of
Okay,
it.
yep.
Okay?
Yeah, that would be great.
No reasonable offer refused.
Don't say that.
We can transport them for you too.
Yes, sir.
Anything else? What's that?
Off the street.
I was gonna say, what you volunteered for.
Yeah.
yeah, good luck trying to do those things.
Any other unfinished business? Going once, going twice?
Well, one thing, I think we should all go as council people to the 50th anniversary of the Salvation Army being here in Waymart. I remember the day they came, I remember when they bought the land. And 50 years, they've been a great neighbor, and I would like to have people go to,
What time is it?
12:30 to 2,
It's the middle of my workday.
March
Sorry.
Yeah.
27th, Thursday, March 27th, 12:30 to 2.
If it was at 6, I could possibly swing that.
Yeah.
It's the middle of my workday, sorry.
Any other unfinished?
No, I can't do it.
No?
Like six.
Okay, new business. We have the,
A Water Street ordinance
oh, right.
for the one-way.
Okay.
I'm, I don't know, requesting or asking, suggesting, I'm not sure which word to use, to amend the ordinance to make it a two-way street again instead of one-way. 9 out of 10 residents don't use it as a one-way street anyway.
We're talking about the one next to the bank?
Yes.
That little short one that, okay, got it.
So
Say that, please.
and you know what, I'll admit, I'm guilty of it.
Yeah.
I get to the stop sign that's not there and I'm like, oh,
The top of
Yeah.
Prospect Street used to be a yield.
Right.
where at?
The top of Prospect Street used to be
Yeah.
a yield.
Yes,
I
Yep.
still catch myself like, ooh.
yep.
After how many years?
I
That
sit in
stop
my
sign's in a
computer
weird
every
place.
day and see cars go, ignore it.
So I know we have to draft the proposed change or amended ordinance. I don't know who drafts it.
I don't know the process of that.
It needs to be publicized. It must occur no more than 60 days and no less than 7 days before the ordinance is voted on upon for enactment, which would, if we do it tonight, would be our next meeting. But we'll probably go into what, May?
Mhm.
Because it has to be written up. Is that something you do, Chris?
Or Joe.
Or Joe?
No, Chris, I would recommend
Anybody
Chris
else want
doing
this?
it.
Nobody listens to
Okay.
you anyway. Serious question. Can
Anybody
we
want
just take the signs down?
How did we change it in the first place?
Anybody else
Chief of
want
Police
this?
said yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean,
How did we change it in
trying
the
to
first
expedite.
place?
I don't know. I
I
wasn't,
don't mind.
And there weren't
Yeah.
a stop sign.
Probably a joint resolution, I imagine.
Coming out that night.
Does anybody know how we changed it the last time?
impact gun.
We
probably.
changed it because,
No, how?
How?
Like, what was the process of
Yeah.
changing?
And it's
Did
got-
we- Did we just put up signs?
No.
no, it's got,
Borders of state
you
road.
all, some people think I have too much to say, well, I wrote it. And we presented it, it was advertised,
Okay, so you went through the
we
right
went
procedure.
Oh,
through
yeah.
the full
Okay.
procedure. We changed a couple words in what I had written, and it was agreement. And
Did you let the state know before we did?
I called the state and asked for their advice on everything.
Yeah.
Believe me, I called them.
So did you do it on this one?
How do I remember? I
Okay.
call them so often.
Borders of state road, so I don't know if they have any interest in it.
Water Street is a state road.
No,
Main
the
Street
borders.
is-
Main Street
Borders
is-
is state road.
Belmont Street
It's
is.
connected.
Yeah, it's connect. No,
Now we're gonna have cars going back out that way under their state
yeah, and
road.
that's, see, as long as that restaurant isn't open. But I see them every day, people ignore it now.
but there was a business in that building for forever. There was a flower
Yeah.
shop, there was the
Right.
restaurant. There's always been a business there.
It's just that people didn't, but Bay staying 30 feet from the intersection, and that was the problem. Because they drive their car and they park right next to the street. So when the people tried to come out, they couldn't see around the cars.
Well, it's a line of sight issue. You can make it,
Right.
you can make it a two-way and then make another ordinance that requires you to park a certain feet from the intersection.
Well,
Like
there's
down
a
by
state-
Belmont,
There's a
right?
state law that.
Yeah, they should
30
follow
feet.
their,
They just enforce the state law.
Yeah.
Yes, enforce the state law, but the problem is we don't have people on every day to enforce it.
No, there's signs though that say no parking, like.
Well, there's other signs too that say no parking overnight, and I was told at the last meeting, well, we can ignore it because it isn't snowing that night. I didn't know you could ignore it, you know, so.
So is that what we want to do? We want to
Start the process?
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. Okay, well, I guess well, we have to write that up first, right?
I mean, I just put that, but I know, I just like, I typed off the ordinance itself, which says Waymart Borough accepts the dedication of Water Street as one way going east, entering from Belmont Street at Wayne Bank and ending at East Street, allowing no parking at either side of said street. So I put one, change Water Street from Belmont Street to East Street, a two-way traffic street from east to west, and that's street too many times. An English teacher would slap my hand. But I would imagine you would need more than one bullet point, correct?
Should check with the bank, see what their position is.
Could we just,
What do you mean, see what they're,
They're affected by it more than anybody. Maybe they're against change.
I don't know,
So we also have to get a stop sign.
Yep.
we should have one somewhere.
If you're worried about corner parking.
The one that was there.
you Just put two signs up. One that would say no parking from sign to corner. Next one below it, no parking from sign to corner. And you have nobody parking there, you can still pull out.
Yep.
Simple.
No parking from here to corner.
Yep, you need two signs to do that.
If they park there, you can just find them,
That's
right?
state law. Simple.
Okay.
Yep,
And then a stop sign, and you're done.
Just told them.
There's stop signs over in the building.
Yeah. Yeah, there might be. We could just use that pole that's there for the post.
As long as they're breakaways.
Yeah, oh,
That's all. As long as they're breakaways.
Okay. Well, do you want to talk to the bank?
sure.
See what they say. Okay.
And then I will let Chris know,
Mm-hmm.
and if they're okay with it, we can have him write something up for next month.
Sound good, Chris?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, now the Borough Planning Commission, did Borough Planning Commission get this? Did you guys need a copy of this?
Yeah, they asked.
Oh, okay. So this is, well, the clock starts now on this, right, Chris? We have
No,
to-
it started.
Oh, sorry, Right, so we have to plan a, conditional use hearing. Yay.
Same thing we did with the solar farm.
Right,
That was conditional use. So it's gotta go to John and Wayne and Dean, the other one, I think.
mm-hmm. And we have, what,
You guys
60
have-
days?
Did you guys get copies?
45.
Now, can I clarify, is John and Wayne, is Dean an alternate? Like, how does that work? Because when we voted,
If either Wayne or John gets assassinated in office, then Dean would come in.
Okay.
Why would you put that in the universe?
because your dad, we voted your dad in,
Oh, yeah, he's
and
an
we
alternate.
voted Tim in.
Right, oh, yeah, they were alternates as well.
So, like, they're alternates as well, so,
Is Dean in as a third?
alternate, yeah, there's 3 alternates.
Okay, because I think we could only appoint so many at a time.
And so
I
it
think
doesn't
that
have
was
to be
the-
an odd number?
Yeah, but I think you could only
Yeah.
appoint so many at one
So
time
we
a
do need
year
to
or something.
appoint somebody this year. 'Cause
Yes.
I think we appointed
Both
you
of them at
guys.
the same time.
Yeah,
And then I believe you said we had to wait until the beginning of the new year to appoint the third one, and then the others would be alternates.
I guess I should be appointing somebody now then.
So that somebody should be appointed for
Mm.
2025.
mm-hmm. Dean?
See?
Appoint
Didn't advertise it. It's not on the agenda. No action that's not on the
Oh,
agenda.
that's
You
true.
can't do it.
But next time, Dean.
Yeah, okay, so, we have 45 days to get this done, Chris, or 60?
I think it's 60.
Okay.
Do we have to advertise that for the planning commission? Has to be advertised?
Yes.
We're, like 13 days into it, so we gotta pick a date.
And we could do it just like we did last time, where they could be part of the hearing, and then they consult, give their opinion, and
Mhm.
ultimately Borough Council votes on it.
Mm-hmm.
We used to sometimes have it a half hour or an hour before our regular meeting.
The conditional use,
Yeah,
with our track record, we're gonna need about 25 hours.
This one might be a little under an hour.
He's talking about the solar panel, how solar ones, how long?
The last one,
oh, I
yeah.
know, that was
Oh, the marathon.
7.5 hours.
When's good for everybody?
Here.
Tuesdays are always good.
I guess we have to check with the other side as well.
Well, we have to advertise it, correct?
Mhm.
For, is it 2 weeks?
So it brings us into the third week
Have
of
you talked to
March.
them all, Chris? to see?
No, I've talked to anybody. I
Okay.
think it's Mark Zimmer's daughter out of Harrisburg, isn't it? The law firm?
Samantha?
I don't know where her name
Because if we have to advertise for 2 weeks, that puts us into,
First week of April.
today's the 11th, yeah, the first week of April.
Well, we have to get some dates from everybody else, too.
Just pick a day and let them figure it out.
Yeah, I agree.
There you go.
Do that.
I agree with that. The other one wants to have it,
So the last week of March, probably.
so you tell them when it is.
Well, if we have to advertise for so long.
No, there's no other attorney office, there's attorney listed on this paperwork,
So, what's that put us? The,
So
right around the 25th?
April 8th is our next meeting.
Mhm.
You're talking, do you think you'd before or after our April meeting?
I would say after, because he should be appointed at the next meeting, so that we have 3.
Okay.
We're gonna go with the Tuesday?
So the following, this following is April 15th.
Mhm. Does that push us out past the 45 days?
It's getting close.
No, I think you have to have it scheduled within the 60. I think-
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right, let's
you're in
just,
good shape.
all right, let's do the 15th then. Is that good with everybody? 15th? Well, let's try to start it early.
5:30?
I would say, yeah.
Of course, you know what, that's tax day,
Yay.
If you don't have your taxes done by now, that's
right?
your problem.
All right, so the 15th at 5:30.
So do I wait to hear from Chris or the other attorneys, or like how?
Mm-hmm. Do you want to do that, Chris? To see?
Yeah, let them know the date.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could ask for a continuance if they want. What date is it?
April
April
15th at 5:30.
Okay. Do you need this stuff?
I can
I don't,
yes.
is that the date of our next meeting?
No, the
No,
8th.
it's-
The
8th
8th
is
is,
our next meeting.
The 8th is
the
the
8th is the meeting.
Just come up with a date if they don't like it, then.
Why don't we just schedule it?
Yeah,
They
yeah,
want,
yeah.
if they want to continue, we'll continue.
So
Should
we'll
I
lock
wait
that.
till here for you to set up the advertising, or?
Yeah, because you have time.
Yeah, we have time.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Just see if they're good with that, Chris, and then we'll advertise.
Okay.
Then you get more time out of it if they change it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anything else for new business?
I just wanted to say on here, it says that term of each of the members of the commission shall be for 4 years or until his successor is appointed and qualified. This act shall be so fixed that on commissions of 8 members or less, no more than 2 shall be reappointed or replaced during any future calendar year. So that's why we can't do it. We could do it now that it's a new calendar year. Okay? So we could appoint more. We could appoint, up to 8.
Okay.
8 total.
Okay. Next meeting. Sounds good.
Dean, you have a month to leave the country.
Why don't we just add, why don't we put it on the agenda that, for next month, just that there's gonna be appointments to the
So it
planning
doesn't need to
board.
be advertised in the paper?
If anybody's gonna be, I don't think it needs
I
to.
don't think it has to be
I have a
advertised in
question
the paper,
on-
just
on-
we
on
did
this-
it last
on
time.
that project.
Agenda.
Yes,
What is that zone then?
it looks like it is, I'm not sure if it's low-density residential or rural residential, you know?
Yeah, they're trying to map.
Low
I don't know,
density,
yeah.
R1, low density residential.
Okay.
Okay, so what is this project classified as?
Conditional use, just like the solar farm. They're requesting conditional use.
Well, I think it's considered a commercial property, right, Joe, at that point?
No,
No?
So it's not commercial property that they're doing, what are they doing?
Would it require?
Not sure yet, because we didn't see the plans.
Here's set plans, if anybody wants to look at
I
it.
know the set plans, nothing says in there what it is though.
Like
You know
you're
what I mean?
asking
Like, I mean, if it's
what it would be considered
If it's
after?
low density, like, what is this project considered?
Not sure, I don't know if it's cluster development, that's what they're gonna present at
What
the hearing.
is the project that's there right now considered? Low density?
Low density,
yes.
right here.
I'm not sure, because I wasn't involved with it. So I don't
Okay.
know, I never looked at it.
Well, then nobody's sure, right?
Well, I don't think too many of these conditional use hearings were done for the last 50 years, so.
But
just follow
right
the
now,
law
everything
now.
that comes on this, Things up were to done on us is the gonna fly be conditional before. use.
Mhm.
Everything,
I don't know about that. Why do you say that, Chuck?
because you seem that way.
Actually, the one that they withdrew was for a variance, right?
yeah,
So they,
but
but they withdrew it, and probably come back as conditional use.
because it's not a permitted use under a variance,
Yeah.
so it's gonna,
So you gotta look at that chart in our zoning and match it up with the map, see what it is, and then see what it says in that chart, what you could put in that district, and see if it's applicable. If
some
it's-
things are permitted by
Yeah,
variance.
well, some are permitted by, well, that's the problem. Everybody's trying to stick stuff in areas that doesn't belong.
Correct.
And they're saying, well, let's do it as a conditional use, and then you have to look in the box for conditional use and see if it applies in there.
See if it fits any requirement.
What
Well,
is the
the
difference
solar farm
between low
didn't
density and rural
Fit in that
residential?
box.
That was
a different story.
that was a different story because we didn't have anything
Really, like, it's.
in our zoning to allow solar panels anywhere.
Like,
So because when we had our new zoning ordinance done, the expert on solar panels forgot to put it in our new zoning where solar panels should be, whether it be in industrial, rural, residential, or wherever. So if it's not addressed, if something isn't addressed in our zoning, then they get to make legal arguments why it belongs in a certain place. And then it would be up to the court to determine whether they're right or not. Instead, we granted the conditional use with 44 conditions or something. And one of them being that from now on, we're going to amend our zoning so that solar panels are allowed in industrial districts. And that half of the property where these are going is going to be changed to industrial at some point.
Will we know by this hearing on the 15th what's this project's considered?
That's what they're going to present to us. I mean, it should be, we should have just a cursory idea of what they want to do. I'm not sure what the plans are, whether they're townhouses, garden apartments. I'm not sure what they are, but that matters. I don't know how many units they're going to be, how much green space is going to be there.
I think it has on it. I think there's like 35
It is 35.
units.
Yeah, they presented it the night they were here. Yeah.
So,
They also presented the professional.
just so, I mean, just so I have some kind of knowledge.
I would just recommend everybody go to take a look at rural residential and low-density residential in our zoning ordinances. And look at everything that goes along with it in there. See what's allowed, see what isn't allowed. I would suggest you look at the term cluster development, which is defined. Cluster development is defined in our borough code as a form of development for single-family, residential, and/or commercial subdivisions that permits a reduction in lot area and certain development standards provided unit densities permitted under a conventional subdivision, commercial development, and maintained, and the resultant land area is devoted to common open space. Garden homes and townhouses are examples. So they have a landscaped courtyard and green space that all the residents can use.
So the parking lot must be.
I don't know if that's helpful. I don't think a parking lot would be considered a landscaped courtyard. So if you want to take a few of those, look at it. Jane's handing out what is online under Waymart Borough. Just go to Google, put in Waymart Borough, and then get to our ordinances, and then go down to the very end of zoning. Hit that. I think it's 125-45.
Is there anything on there that says in order,
Thank you, Jane.
like, is there R1 is this many people or is
Tell
it
you.
red
Thank you so
It
much.
doesn't give it
Thank you.
that way.
Because that's, I think, what we
You've got enough, I think.
It doesn't
Well,
give us that.
Thanks, Jane.
We did talk about possibly redoing zoning altogether,
You're the
remember?
last one, I don't have to.
Like maybe redoing, right, somebody is adding some stuff and.
Yeah, we can't do it after somebody applies.
No, that's what I mean, we have to do it before something happens, so there's some
Yeah.
stuff we need to add to our zoning to make it more beefy,
Yeah.
in case somebody comes along with something we don't have on in our zoning, then,
And Joe, you would be the best one to advise us on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have deficiencies and
I have a list.
relevant stuff.
I'm running tab actually right now.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't fit the first.
Well, we don't have to go over it now, folks.
No.
Okay.
But
Here, hand this
got other
first.
business here tonight.
At least somebody stay afterwards so I can copy yours, because I'm short. I don't have enough.
Okay, is that it? Everybody good on new business?
Oh, I have, oh, no, it's not new business, not really.
Copies for Jane.
I just have a question.
Make
Make
somebody in the
a,
audience too.
we have a motion to adjourn?
Can I ask a question first?
If you
Um,
must.
I want to know if I can spend $30 to get a new mop bucket and mop.
Well, I think we also should be paying to have this building cleaned. I wouldn't want to do it without being paid. And it was a nice gesture on Teresa's part before, but I think we should restore the,
Like, hire a company?
no,
No,
Teresa does
She
it.
gives her money
Oh.
back instead of taking.
She's trying to help us out because of the loss of money.
Oh, I see.
So she said, she agreed not to.
I thought everybody.
We have checks tonight, didn't we? We never agreed on, we never voted on it, but she herself stopped. So I think we just should restore her salary.
You did,
No, yep.
Any thoughts on that? Any thoughts, Teresa? Do you want to get paid?
Would you?
Yes.
Makes sense.
and the toilet keeps running.
In here?
Catch it.
Okay.
Yes.
I did, I actually caught it and slapped it.
Fine.
So,
They're in there, no.
No,
So-
I came in twice in the last month. It was continuous running. I jiggled the handle.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not.
It probably just needs new insides.
I think so.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a new flapper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of, you know,
Okay.
the water goes out.
Ask the director. All right, so what are we doing?
Can I say one thing before we close? That's what your intent is. Jane just handed me something from 2023. John Ehrman, Deputy Executive Director of Education Training, Pennsylvania State Association of Roads. If the new use is not permitted in the current zoning district, you would either have to amend the zoning ordinance to allow for this type of use, and the property owner could apply for variance. So again, your zoning is your law, okay? Everybody wants to come in here and keep changing the law or not follow your law. And if you're gonna keep doing that, just get rid of it altogether and tell everybody they can do whatever they want. Otherwise, it has no purpose.
And most of Wayne County doesn't have zoning.
But we do.
But
Probably spent a lot of money on it through the years, so we should follow it. Okay?
Exactly, that's,
All right?
I think we should amend it where it's needed.
thank you.
Well, we could say that all the time. That's probably
I
a
know,
good
how
idea.
And then you look like.
There's no speculation so much.
You shouldn't be against development, you know.
No, right.
No, but you develop it in the area where it fits, where it's suited under our laws. If it doesn't fit there, you can't put it there.
Chris,
Yes,
I have a
Jim.
question. If we allow something and then we don't allow it, could it come back and bite us as past practice?
Maybe, but, you know, some of this stuff was done 40 years ago. I mean, the argument back would be, some other borough council did that. We don't know what they were thinking or what they were doing or if they did anything. All that we know is, we know what the laws are and we're following them.
So is ignorance,
Ignorance is never an excuse under the law, otherwise there would be no criminal defendants.
okay,
Okay?
so we can't say that
We didn't know?
or because of, we don't know who did what they did.
Oh, no, we don't know what they did, we don't care what they did. I'm telling you, you all took an oath to follow the Constitution and follow the law. You guys have to follow the law as it's written, despite what somebody else did in the past.
Like when they come to me for a zoning application, this is how this even gets to you guys. I look at the book and I'm like, well, that's not a permitted use, guess what? Denied. So then they have the right to appeal, and that's where we are right now, in the appeal process of that. Because I followed the law, I said, no, it's not allowed. And then, well, I disagree. So now they have to come here and they have to prove why they disagree that it's not allowed.
That's why we have the hearings.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it works.
And when we have the hearing here, it's just like the courtroom down at the courthouse. Just like for the drug rehab place. I mean, you establish the record here, everybody puts their facts on, and then they make their legal arguments why it belongs or doesn't belong. And they have the right to appeal it down to the judge in Holmesdale. And Judge Edwards found that we were right when it came to the drug rehab place. Now that's been appealed up to the Commonwealth Court, and we'll see what they say.
The thing is, I brought up a few months ago that our zoning map, we should maybe change it.
I thought he was going to.
For this reason, in 40 years, a lot of things change. And we have to be able to identify what is different in the culture 40 years later, and whether we are helping develop the town. That's all.
John, a good example is that place out there with the carts, the trailers, okay? They came in for conditional use, nobody wanted to have a hearing, nobody wanted to spend the money having a hearing. For the solar panels, they have 44 conditions they have to meet. We didn't even have a hearing on those trailers. We could have put conditions on it, certain trees you gotta put on, what's gonna be on the road. I mean, Route 6, that's our commercial area, right? That's our storefronts, that's where people walk in and out of stores. You want that to look a certain way. Well, now it's just a storage lot, because we didn't have a hearing, we didn't put any conditions on them, we just approved it, which we can do. just vote on.
When you changed the ordinances, when you changed the map for the railroad lane
Yes.
last year, when Rutherford was here, didn't he say something, he would print up new maps? Or that you can,
I met with him once.
doesn't Wayne County provide that for free, or?
Yeah, they will do it.
So
But
that's something
I don't
we
know.
haven't had done yet, that hasn't been updated.
Yeah, the ice cream parlor that's
Right, that hasn't been
not gonna
updated.
be an ice cream parlor anymore.
I guess she's coming back. That's the rumor.
Is she?
The rumor of the day.
Good news. Finally, something in this town I can.
I don't know, didn't they sell the house?
And a bakery.
The
yes.
trouble is, they sold their house, you know, Professor Wilson's house.
Did they?
Yeah, they sold the house, it sold in 3 days.
It was pending the following day, wasn't it?
Yeah. I showed it.
Yeah.
The house was me.
Oh,
Shane,
No. Okay.
Okay,
are
so
we
I'm
done?
good, I didn't really get an answer, am I good on the bucket?
Oh, yeah. Want Randy to buy it?
There's one at the dollar store, it's
Oh.
$30.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the spin one.
I have that one.
I've
motion
been bringing
to-
my own.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I will second it.
Randy made a motion, Shane seconded it. All in favor?
I have to pay for New York. Aye.
Nays? Abstentions? Motion passes. Have a good evening,
Why
everyone.
would anybody name that?